Well, it seems to be that, of course, the internet's screwing me up and going offline continuously as I try to do this YouTube live. And the last time I did the whole entire verbal affirmation from beginning to end, um, it of course kept going offline, even though it shouldn't be going offline, and it screwed me over. With that, hello, my name is Amy, and I would like to welcome you to a private and discreet, uh, I guess you could say, journal about the power of the spoken word, and a journal of uh, how someone, and I don't want to say me, but a person I know, went from being a single, involuntary celibate, desperate, lonely spinster with a biological clock ticking away, living in an apartment that she couldn't even qualify for. She had to basically get her friend to lie and cover for her and say that that was her supervisor, um, just so she could get into the apartment she didn't qualify for, working 2.5 jobs with average to piss poor credit. I won't say piss poor, but average to low credit, to uh, basically successfully getting 3 properties, including one multifamily fourplex with a garage and 2 other properties, and moving out of state, out of the entire region, um, to where her doors open for her, I guess you could say, where her purpose was, and finding a fiance, hubby, and having her business, grow, and dedicated members come and join every week. She couldn't, she did little stuff here and there. Um, and anyway, just quick FYI's, I have I'm an Asperger, so my mind goes as fast as a hurricane, category 5 level. So I have to stare, I stare up in the sky when I'm thinking. And so I'm looking at how lovely I look now. But when I'm thinking really hard, I stare up in the sky and I go into tangents. So I'm going to try to stay on point and stay on focus and look at the camera, but I go on tangents and stare up in the sky. I may look like a Muppet or something. Secondly, I guess I got to take it. This is cupping from my shoulder, doing physical therapy for the 17th billion time. Seems like I've been doing it annually. So, yeah, I know that's funny looking, but it kind of soothes me. These little cups here, I got them from Walmart online. So, anyway, that's another story. I need to put it here, but of course, I need to get an office chair, to be honest. But until then, I don't know. Try to adjust my pillow here, which doesn't help much. I need an actual better office chair, or the geese are beginning to fly back south. Anyway, first point up for business is this. Um, I am a property owner, and I've been planning to post, I don't want to call it a rant, but I've been planning to post this rant for a minute. And I gave the editors permission to edit it down and slice it up so you guys can do whatever you need to do with it. Because here comes distraction right here and now. So, of course. But basically, as a property owner to a multiplex complex, and I'm in the process of doing a project. So you're.
I can see that. I
Mhm.
love you. I know.
Mhm.
You need an audience, though, I think.
I need to order it.
Audience.
I do this online,
I need to live.
YouTube Live.
Monkey Man and me.
There's Monkey Man.
We looking to get ready.
Hello, Monkey Man.
Right.
Hello, Monkey Man. She was sleeping on the bed. Then she came over to get some nibble times and treats.
Good. We need an audience.
So what are you doing now?
Keep my eye getting out.
Of course. Well, are you about to leave?
No.
About 2 minutes you're leaving?
No, you getting ready to perform too. I ain't going nowhere.
Oh my God.
I want to see you. Yeah, Monkey Man too.
Well, you're on camera too, so why are you in the way?
I'm not talking now.
Okay, so you can go back outside. I already started. You're distracting me. Oh my God. Well, that's good. So you could join in 10 minutes. We're gonna have prayer time.
Yeah, okay.
And Pastor also wants to know And I told him your message that you don't think you can make it to DC, but he said he's trying to get them tags and registration and blah 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 for Sister Olu's citrus lemon. And if it comes through, he said if you would be kind enough to help him drive to Washington DC.
If we want to go on a mission like that, I don't care.
And it's not the mobile home that's falling apart, but the citrus lemon. hmm He claims he's gonna have a tune up so it won't fall apart going down the highway.
Okay. If he ain't scared, I ain't scared.
Oh, there you go then.
But that's a phone.
It's not a. So, Chris, I'm being distracted. But anyway. Here. Can you lock the door?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Whatever. So anyway, first order up for bid, if you will. It's only 6 minutes. Is that I am not just a landlady, but I'm also a property owner and a resident of Albany, Cohoes City in Albany County in New York State. I'm a lovely little disabled female, officially disabled, short and squat, and I have my kitty cat here, Monkey Man, and I have a 4-unit of property. So I live in one of the units. So theoretically, I heard that because I live in one of the units, I could be discerning and say, I don't want ex-cons or sexual predators or meat eaters because I'm a vegetarian. I want it non-smoking because your smoke literally comes into, which is true. I can smell the cigarette smoke coming from the apartment next door, and it comes through the walls. Like the walls, even though this building is about 1,000,000 years old, it's over 100 years old. The smoke comes through. So I understand as a small property owner that lives in the property, one of the units, I can be discerning. With that, because New York decided to pass the no bail law to try to make it fair for poor people who go to jail to have the same opportunity as rich people to bail out and not be responsible for their crimes. You can have serial killer psychopaths on the street and not stay in jail for more than 2 minutes, and they're back on the street. And because of COVID and the no eviction laws, even though I don't know how the process is for commercial real estate, but I understand that for basically you need food, shelter, and clothing. And I don't know if there are any waivers for free clothes. I'm sure there are. You got donations at the thrift store or whatever. And I know there's food stamps for food. And now we have to provide free shelter, which is, I guess, problematic enough if you're struggling and you have a mortgage to pay every month and you don't have the money to pay the mortgage because your mortgage is coming from the tenants, especially if you're not working because your job hasn't reopened or you're on disability or SSI. And a lot of times people rent out their basement or their attic or their garage, aka slash grandma suite. You turn a garage to a grandma suite, rent that out, or the basement or the attic to get extra money to pay the mortgage because they're retired or they're on disability or they just had a child and they're in between work. So with the no rent law and so forth, and you can't evict people for not paying rent, I hope y'all have some type of waiver to not have to pay your mortgage. In addition to that, tenant holdovers and other problems is which has nothing to do with COVID and has nothing to do with income and rent, but just basically, you need to turn the apartment to upgrade it or whatever. We can't even clear them out for that. But the biggest problem is, and the main reason I'm griping, is for safety, building safety, tenant safety, and my safety. If you live in the building and you have someone who's a vagrant, a squatter, vandalizer, doing drugs, fighting, abusing people, whatever, they should go to jail. I shouldn't have to house someone who's terrorizing my property, busting the door open, spray painting and doing all types of vandalous stuff, breaking windows, or having some stalker chase their ex-lover and thusly put them and everyone else in the building at risk, or having drug dealers and addicts roaming around my hallway causing a problem. I mean, I know there's no bail law and I want the criminals to roam the street, which is not a good thing for anyone except the criminals, which is probably why the shooting is at an all-time high, because they're, they don't have to go to jail. They go to jail for about 24 minutes, back on the street 30 minutes. So, like you get a Domino's pizza slower than they get back on the street. With that, the safety of a person in the building who is upstairs, you have a person upstairs who's squatting, vandalizing, having animals, doing all types of stuff that's deteriorating your property and causing damage to your property, which affects everybody in the building. Now, maybe they don't care about having, short wires and electrical outlets that could cause a fire, but I live downstairs from them. People live next door to them. I don't want a fire in my property. I live downstairs. People live in the building. You have people that can't get thrown out and evicted and banned from your property, even though they have wires exposed and causing all type of damage or using drugs. There's a safety issue. I've heard horror stories of tenants. What is going on? Tenants going crazy, vandalizing stuff, threatening to shoot a gun on people. I had quite a few tenants from hell, quite a few of them, and roommates from hell and everything else, bipolar, unmedicated, some other, I don't know what the heck he was. I called the loony bin on him. They told me to escort him to the loony bin. I'm like, no crazy person wants to go to the loony bin, and you expect me, why don't y'all come and get him? Because I'm not going to take him to the loony bin. And he's, then I called the police, and the police tell me to pay him and give him some money, because I didn't know I couldn't change the locks and get rid of him. So that was my first experience of forced eviction of a psychopath. And they say you have to evict them. I said, I fear for my safety, which I did. And they didn't seem to care about my safety. They only cared about the psychopath that was in my property that I couldn't get rid of, or the drug dealers and everything else. I mean, these are problems that are for my safety. I don't have Uzis. I don't have a gun. I don't have a hatchet. I'm not Bruce Willis or Bruce Lee or anyone else that could crack someone's neck like Angelina Jolie. So if some psychopaths come into my property or going crazy in their housemate or roommate, whether they're renting the garage, the basement, the attic, or another, if I have to go past them to check my mail, if I have to go past them to go to the trash can, if I have to go past them to just to do anything, to go down to the basement, go to the trash can, do whatever, that my safety is at risk. And if a person is crazy and deranged, they should go to the loony bin. If the person is a criminal, they should go to jail. Why should I house a psychopath or a criminal or a lunatic? I don't have animal. I don't have a animal wrangler. I don't have a muzzle. I don't have a cage for them. I don't have a tranquilizer dart. But yet I'm responsible for these. I don't have handcuffs. So what am I supposed to do for a psychopath? What am I supposed to do for a lunatic or a criminal? So these things need to get, they're straight up unacceptable, to be honest. And I don't know why a model American citizen, a model New York citizen, and a decent model Albany County and Cohoes City citizen have to deal with psychopaths, raging lunatics, and crazy people. I don't have no training. I don't have no tranquilizer darts, tasers, or anything else to subdue these people. Yet, y'all just let us deal with them. And so I don't know how you can revise the horrible no bail law, because I've talked to other tenants and people that live in the community. Nobody wants to have monsters running around, stray bullets shooting up kids, stray bullets killing people in front of their house, lunatics and crackheads roaming all over the place. Nobody wants that. So, it's unacceptable and it needs to get cleaned up. Whoever passed the law was obviously a criminal and a mobster themselves, and that's probably why they did it. Because there's no reason to. It's one thing to say, yes, it's very biased, the system can be, but going to the other extreme and letting serial killers and murderers and rapists and people who continuously shoot up the place roam the street willy-nilly, how is that making anything safer? And I don't want to deal with them. And if I can't change my locks or throw them in a cage and put a muzzle on them and keep them away from me without getting in trouble, then you guys need to come and get them off my property, because I'm not going to have some psychopaths trying to burn up my property because they've got wires exposed, or, getting high in the basement, or not taking their meds, roaming the streets. If y'all not gonna get rid of them, then y'all need to give us permission to do something to get rid of them, because it's either one or the other. Nobody should have their life at risk and their safety at risk because New York State allows these people to roam the city willy nilly and unacceptable. So there you go. I don't know if you need my info, but I'll happily post it if you do. Have a nice day. Thank you.